Oh yes, ibig sabihin yung budget po for 2024 ay maayos na nagastos ng opisina. Wala pong nakita ang audit na naging problema doon sa compliance nila doon sa pagpresenta ng mga financial statements ng kanilang financial transactions at wala po rin nakita na problema during the time of audit. We have the Office of the Vice President has already received the annual audit report for 2024, and I know that all of you are very eager to hear what is contained in this document. This audit was done in accordance with the international standards of supreme audit institutions, and it covers the accounts and operations of the Office of the Vice President curriculum year 2024. And of course, as in the last 2 years, 2022 and 2023, the Commission on Audit again gave an unmodified audit opinion on the fairness of presentation of the OVP's financial statements as of December 31, 2024. And then, so of course, we would ask, I don't know if all of you would understand what an unmodified audit opinion means. And so we're here to explain to you so that you can get a little bit of understanding. There is a June 2022 publication of the Commission on Audit, which defines an unmodified audit opinion as a Commission on Audit issuance, and this happens when the auditor concludes that the financial statements are prepared in accordance with the applicable financial reporting framework in all material respects, as specified, of course, by the international standards of audit and the international standards of supreme audit institutions. There is a modified opinion, a modified audit opinion, but it is different because it then includes qualified, adverse, and a disclaimer of opinion. And of course, very fortunately, the Office of the Vice President has received for the third year, an unmodified audit opinion. And also in the report that we received, the independent auditor's report also cited a similar opinion, and I quote, I will read the entire text of the opinion, but I want to catch my breath a little bit. If it's okay, yeah, I'll catch my breath. Okay, so I will read to you the independent auditor's report opinion in the opinion portion. We have audited the accompanying financial statements of the Office of the Vice President, which comprise the statement of financial position as at December 31, 2024, and the statement of financial performance, the statement of cash flows, the statement of changes in net assets / equity, statement of comparison of budget and actual amounts for the year then ended, and notes to the financial statements, including a summary of significant accounting policies. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statements present fairly in all material respects the financial position of the Office of the Vice President as at December 31, 2024, and its financial performance, the cash flows, changes in net assets / equity, and comparison of budget and actual amounts for the year then ended, and notes to financial statements, including a summary of significant accounting policies in accordance with the International Public Sector Accounting Standards. And this is signed by the Commission on Audit Supervising Auditor on May 16, 2025. So you'll see here, ladies and gentlemen, these opinions accompanying the Commission on Audit's 2024 annual audit report for the Office of the Vice President is a confirmation of the Office of the Vice President's firm commitment to comply with all laws, existing rules and regulations, including audit guidelines, so that we can be transparent. This is, of course, for purposes of transparency and compliance, upholding the rule of law.
Any questions? First question, Brad Mendoza, Malaya Times. Mike,
Of
please.
course, we talked before during the COVID sa Titay pa po, ma'am. Pero ma'am, what did you convince yourself to be the new spokesperson of the OVP? And hello?
Mike,
Check.
Arad, paulit na lang ang question.
Ma'am, why did you decide po na maging spokesperson ng OVP? Did the Vice President approach you? And ano pong inyong magiging communication or magiging key communication thrusts in giving to the public the services of the OVP? Ano yung mga parang ipapaliwanag nyo sa public? Ipapaliwanag nyo po ba yung mga servisyo ng OVP sa tao ilalapit nyo po ba? And correct misconceptions about dun sa mga nangyayari sa OVP, ma'am.
Yes. Hi, Red. Thank you. I remember seeing you in DTI. Actually, it was no convincing from the part of the vice president or her staff. They did not need to convince me. I actually submitted an application for any position, for anything that I can do to help the office of the vice president. And I'm fortunate that I was given this trust and confidence. And my purpose of being here, including, well, the first day is today, is to actually highlight all the accomplishments of the Office of the Vice President. You would see that, yes, the Vice President is the second highest leader in the country, and she would have similar obligations to the people as the President. And that is what we're going to do here, because the Office of the Vice President for the last 3 years has been performing and delivering basic services to the people. But we would need to give more emphasis, and so that everyone in the country or the public in general would know.
Ma'am, last question na lang po on my end. Ma'am, doon po muna tayo sa budget po, ma'am. Sa budget ng OVP, I heard that the Vice President said na they want to stay doon sa same level as what was given in 2025. Magbago po ba yun, or meron po bang konting changes, increase po ba, or mananatili pa rin po ba doon sa level na 738 million as what was given by Congress last year? And if ever, ma'am, mag-request po ba si VP ng a little increase man lang, if ever, ma'am, if medyo friendly?
Yes, thank you, Red. Yes, the Office of the Vice President retains the 733 million, I understand, with a little bit of increase to cover personal services and then other operation costs that will help them fulfill the mandate that they have. It's not a lot, and of course it will be most welcome if Congress gives the Office of the Vice President more than what we're asking for.
Okay. Next question, Marisol Abdurman, GMA News.
Muna po ako sa so you will just speak for the institution, for OVP,
That's
not
right.
for VP
Yes.
really.
No, not for the Vice
Or-
President, for the Office of the Vice President as the institution.
So para alam lang ho namin, ano po yung pwede namin itanong sa iyo on behalf of VP po?
The OVP as the institution and official acts of the Vice President as the brand or as the leader of the office.
So kunyari, if you will ask anything about her on the Hague trip now, pwede po.
If it's official.
So we may ask you about that now?
Her trip is personal this time. It's all cost on her, not an official trip whatsoever.
Ma'am, yung kasi may fear before si VP na nung kinaltasan yung budget nila this year is yung apprehension niya is yung pag-retrench ng mga employees, lalo na sa mga satellite offices, yung possibility po na may magsasara din mga SOs all over the country. May we have an update? Kasi isa po ito sa naging apprehension po niya. Meron nga po bang nagsara at meron nga po bang mga natanggal na employees?
You would note that with the meager budget of the Office of the Vice President, they are still able to fulfill the promises that they made to the people, still serving the public, giving whatever they can. Pero syempre, working around that little budget, they had to close some satellite offices. Several have been closed already, and then some have been removed, the others transferred. Kasi pagka binawasan mo ng staff sa isang office na medyo madaming, if they have more than enough personnel, lilipat mo sa iba para makabawas ng personnel to make sure that the Office of the Vice President can still cover personnel services in the budget. That means the salary of the workers.
So, do we have an official data like how many offices have closed?
I will,
Okay,
yes, I will give you that data officially maybe later after the interview.
Ma'am, sorry, kasi laging ang nagko-comment sa Malacanang, it's Yusek Claire Castro. There's Attorney Abante up to Congress, so hindi naman ikaw yung pantapat ng VP sa kanilang dalawa.
Well, I'm here as spokesperson for the Office of the Vice President. I am not here to sling any mud to anyone. And my marching order actually from the Vice President is to be forthright in the message that I will need to convey. And these are the accomplishments and the projects, the programs, and what exactly is the Office of the Vice President doing for the country.
Ma'am, we understand this is a personal trip, but nonetheless, ang sinasabi na is, meron pa rin pong opisina na kailangan tumakbo. So, on her absence, ma'am, like who runs the OVP? Although VP has been saying na even if she's abroad on a personal trip, she's still working. Pero yung bang kung kailangan may mga immediate na mga decisions kailangan gawin, like who acts on her behalf po?
She has a very able Chief of Staff, Undersecretary Zulaika Lopez, so everything is under control, and the Vice President is actually very reachable, so I understand that anything that would need her immediate attention can be relayed to her ASAP.
So, ulitin yung tanong, ma'am. So, kahit personal trip po yun, the VP is still working as the Vice President?
Oh, yes, of course. She's still running the office. It's still her on top of the Office of the Vice President.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next question, Raymond Adonio, Manila Bulletin.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Ma'am, may I ask what's the status of the medical and burial assistance being given by the OVP, considering the budget cut? Thank you.
For now, I understand that there is no medical and burial assistance being provided by the Office of the Vice President. Whatever meager resources that the office has, it is given to other priority areas which the office finds very important. So wala po for this year, I understand, wala pong medical and burial. Hindi po.
Okay. Next question, Ms. Bella Carriazo, Philippine Star.
Susunod ko lang ulit yung question ni Marisol regarding sa pagiging spokesperson niyo. So, kailan inalok sa inyo yung position, considering na, yun nga, sunod-sunod yung may na-appoint sa House, may na-appoint sa Senate, and nauna nga yung sa Malacanang. So, nag-decision ba ang OVP na magkaroon ng spokesperson dahil sa kanilang decision nga na magkaroon ng spokesperson o nauna na itong decision ng OVP na magkaroon ng spokesperson?
Actually, maybe early this year, nung nag-signify po ako ng aking intention, pero hindi naman rin agad na aksyonan. Kaya medyo tumagal ang raming nangyari sa Vice Presidente, marami pong dinaanan din ng opisina, so hindi po agad na aksyonan, and maybe at that time hindi pa nila nakita yung need talaga. But even before Attorney Abante, even before Attorney Castro, Undersecretary Castro, bago pa po yun, nagsasabi na po ako, nagsignify na po ako.
So, magiging regular po ang president. Na-expect na sa inyo?
Depende po sa maro ng Office of the Vice President. Yeah, and we'd like to invite you also to our programs. We'll take you out in the field para makita nyo yung mga programa ng Office of the Vice President.
Okay, next question. Camille Samonte, TV5. Mike, please.
Excuse me, I'll just make a correction doon sa employees that was asked about earlier. Yung mga in the satellite offices hindi naman po sinara, pero naglipat doon sa mga mas murang lugar at saka maybe mas maliliit na opisina ng size ng office para makatipid at makatuloy-tuloy pa rin na makapag-trabaho yung mga tao sa satellite offices.
Next question, Camille Samonte, TV5.
Good morning, I'm Camille po from Ma'am here.
Oh, hi.
Ma'am, balikan ko lang yung sa una niyo po sinabi about dun sa modified opinion evaluation ng audit. Siguro para lang din po maintindihan ng mga ordinaryong tao, ano po ba yung ibig sabihin nito sa pagkasta ng Office of the Vice President, because we know na isa ito sa mga issue na hinignan ng mga house prosecutors, kaya sinasabi nga nila kaya nagkaroon ng impeachment complaint, sinasabi allegedly na may maling pagkasta yung Office of the Vice President. So, sinasabi niyo po kanina, what does it mean? Para lang po maintindihan.
Okay. Thank you, Camille. Okay. I understand that unmodified opinion and a modified opinion hindi naman rin talaga ordinarily maintindihan. Kahit ako, I need to get used to COA lingo kasi iba yung kanilang medyo mas technical sila kesa sa ordinary language. Ang unmodified opinion, there are two things. Unmodified audit opinion and modified audit opinion. Itong modified and unmodified is applied to financial statements that are subject to audit. Meron po kasing tatlong klase ng audit. This is the financial statements, there is the compliance audit, and there is a performance audit. So ito pong modified and unmodified opinion are used only for financial statements. So dalawa lang yung magiging sagot ng COA dyan, whether it's modified or unmodified. And I mentioned that for the last 3 years since 2022, puro unmodified opinion po ang binibigay ng COA sa Office of the Vice President. And this means na wala pong, maayos po ang pagpresenta ng kanilang financial statements. Ang financial statements na po na ito, ang kino-cover niya yung mga it covers the accounts and the operations, yung mga transactions po na ginawa ng Office of the Vice President. So for the last 3 years, like I said, unmodified ang opinion. Ang ibig sabihin po ng unmodified opinion, the financial statements are prepared in accordance with the applicable financial reporting framework in all material requests. This applicable financial reporting framework is a requirement that is adopted also by the Commission on Audit, by the international standards of audit, mga foreign international institutions na po ito, and the international standards of supreme audit institutions. So, pagka naka-receive po ang isang ahensya ng unmodified audit opinion, maligaya na po silang lahat. Pagka po modified ang ni-receive, ito po yung, just to contrast, modified opinion includes qualified, adverse, and a disclaimer of opinion. It is issued when the auditor concludes. Ini-issue po ito, yung modified opinion, pagka sinabi ng auditor na based on the audit evidence that they presented, hindi ko ma-determine as an auditor kung yung financial statements ba niya ay walang material misstatement. Or, isa pang ground where they can issue a modified opinion, a modified audit opinion, kung hindi po kaya ng auditor na maintindihan na walang misstatement na ginagawa dahil wala po siyang makuhang sufficient na ebidensya.
Mike, please. Mike, please.
What does it say now, ma'am? Since this is one of the major topics na po na tinitignan ng mga house prosecutor. Of course, I know you mentioned that you can only speak on constitution, but OVP basically ito kasi budget yung pinili.
Oh yes, ibig sabihin, yung budget po for 2024 ay maayos na nagastos ng opisina. Wala pong nakita ang audit na naging problema doon sa compliance nila doon sa pagpresenta ng mga financial statements ng kanilang financial transactions at wala po rin nakita na problema during the time of audit.